Okay, so hello and good morning uli sa inyong lahat. Medyo nagsawa na ako mag-English, kaya balik tayo sa Taglish. I think parang mas gusto na rin naman na ganito, no? Well, I'll put a survey so that you'll know siguro kung, or rather, I'll know kung ano yung best method of communication for you guys. Okay, in this module, we'll be discussing discrimination or difference tests as a subset of our sensory evaluation tests. Okay, so let's start. So our discussion will follow the typical format, starting with the concepts involved, the different types of discrimination tests. We may not cover all, but at least we'll cover the basic ones. And then how to statistically analyze your information to arrive at the desired results. So discrimination or difference tests are used when you have at least two samples and you want to know if they are perceptibly different. Um, Usually there are two levels to this, and the first level, you don't want to know the direction of the difference, or rather where the difference lies. So the basic question is, may pagkakaiba ba sila? Okay? And yung second level natin is, you may want to state where the difference lies, or you may want to try to um, quantify that difference at least on an ordinal level. Like for example, which is sweeter, and if sweeter, by how much? Okay? Pero pwede rin naman na yung kumbaga sa childhood show noon, alin ang naiba? No? So, as a question as simple as that. So in the basic difference test, as we've discussed before, we can either test for a difference, where a difference is something that we want, such as in the formulation of a better product. Okay, na parang kung gusto mo ng um, new and improved something na marketing tag, no? So, kailangan meron ka scientific data to back up na talagang nag-improve siya, and how could that improvement be um, perceived? Well, of course, consumer tests yun, pero kung gusto mo sabihin lang na may difference ba talaga or wala, na meron pagbabago, then you could um, use a difference test. Of course, in this case, a difference test will not tell you consumer perceptions, no? Pero it will tell you something about na merong change in either direction for the product. Also, sometimes you want to test for similarity. So this happens again when your goal is to keep the product profile the same, it tastes the same, smells the same, texture, everything is the same, but you want to change something like slightly decrease the amount of a certain ingredient kasi nga nagmahal siya, or pinalitan mo ng brand kasi nag-out of stock si supplier A. So yun yung mga ganong kaso wherein ang gusto naman natin is ma-prove na walang difference between the two samples. So there are many different ways in which discrimination or difference tests could be done. Let's just run through them. This is from Lawless and Heyman. So first you have the oddity type of test, or the triangle test, wherein you have two samples, let's say brands A and B, then you present three of them. Two of those samples are either A or B, and you ask the person to choose the odd one out. Almost all discrimination tests are based on probability hypothesis. So by chance, if you have three samples, the chance of getting the correct answer is 1 out of 3. Okay, there are matching types like the duo trio test. So triangle and duo trio are the most common, and that's what we will be focusing on. In this case, you have three samples, however, one, instead of being labeled with a 3-digit random code, yung isa ay reference mo. So, kaya siya tinawag na matching kasi ima-match mo kung alin yung reference doon sa dalawang coded sample mo. Okay, so parang papatikim sa yung reference, and then in random order, samples A and B, which you don't know kung alin ang alin, ay papatikim din, and you're supposed to answer which of the two are like the reference. Okay, so of course, because even though you have three samples, the number of choices you have is 2, so the probability is 1/2. There are more complex types like the sorting. So for example, the 2 out of 5, you are given 5 samples, 2 of which are either A or B, and then the rest are the other sample. And you're supposed to sort the 5 um, samples into 2 groups. So lahat ng tingin mo A, dito mo ilagay sa isang side, lahat ng tingin mo B, dito sa kabila. Okay, and statistically speaking, there are 10 possible combinations, but only one of them would be correct. Now, putting the both A's on one side and all the 3 B's on the other. Alright, so that has a very low chance of getting correct by just guessing, no? So we want to also eliminate sometimes yung guessing, and so on. Right, so we'll be discussing some of this later on, so in the next module. So let's just proceed to the next module for that one, or sub-module rather. We'll be focusing on some of the discrimination tests, namely the paired comparison, duotria triangle, A not A, and an alternative forced choice method. So that will be in 7B and C.